November has a quiet sort of beauty to it. The garden is beginning to settle down for its long winter sleep. The vibrant colors of summer, early autumn have faded, leaving behind a more subtle palette of browns, ochres, muted greens. This is not a time for dramatic work in the garden. Rather, it's for gentle preparation, a month for thinking ahead, for laying the groundwork that ensures a glorious spring. Your roses will thank you for a little attention now. With a few simple, thoughtful steps, we can help them withstand the cold wind frost. This is not a time for panic. It is a period of transition. The roses have given us so much pleasure all year. Now it is our turn to give something back. This care is an investment in the future. As the days shorten and a chill fills the air, we are not just tidying up. We are actively protecting our plants, ensuring their survival and vigor for the coming season. The tasks are straightforward. No special expertise required, only time and a gentle hand. Think of it as tucking your roses into bed for winter, making sure they are safe, snug, ready for their rest. Gardening links us to the seasons. November is a crucial chain link. What we do now affects the health of our roses next June. It may be tempting to walk away and wait for spring, but the dedicated gardener knows winter is a pause, not an end. The work in colder, darker months is as important as the weeding watering of summer. It's a quiet, contemplative work that connects us to the year's rhythm. Now, 3 clear, simple tasks will see your roses through the harshest weather. These are not complicated chores. They are about cleaning, tidying, protecting. First, we'll clear away potential problems. Then make a few judicious cuts to prevent damage. Finally, provide a warm blanket of mulch to protect the roots. Each step builds on the last, creating a comprehensive shield. It's a satisfying job that brings closure and anticipation. Your roses will rest better for it, and so will you. Our first job is perhaps the most important, and it begins on your hands and knees. We need to give our roses a thorough clean. Over the past few months, leaves have been falling from the plants and gathering at their base. While this is a natural process, these fallen leaves can create a perfect, damp refuge for fungal spores and pests to overwinter. Diseases like black spot and rust don't simply disappear. They lie in wait on this debris, ready to reinfect the new, tender growth in spring. So, it is essential that we clear it all away. Use a rake or your hands and be meticulous. Get right in under the plant and remove every last leaf you can find. Once you have gathered all the leaves and other debris from around the base of your roses, you must dispose of them properly. This is one of the few times I will advise against adding material to your home compost heap. If your roses have shown any sign of disease this year, and most do to some extent, then composting these leaves will only perpetuate the problem. The spores can survive the composting process and will be spread back into your garden with the finished compost. Instead, put them in your green waste bin for municipal collection, or if your local rules permit, have a bonfire. Burning is a very effective way to destroy disease spores completely. With the ground clear, it is time to turn your attention to the plant itself. Look closely at the stems. You are searching for any wood that is dead, damaged, or diseased. Dead wood is easy to spot. It will be brown or gray dry and often shriveled. It will have no signs of life, no green beneath the bark. Damaged stems might be cracked or broken, perhaps from wind or an accident with the lawnmower. Diseased wood often shows dark blotches or cankers. All of this needs to be removed. It serves no purpose for the plant and can be an entry point for further infection or decay. To remove this unwanted material, you will need a good, sharp pair of secateurs. Sharp tools are crucial because they make a clean cut that heals quickly, whereas a blunt pair will crush the stem and leave a ragged wound that is prone to disease. Make your cuts back to a point where the wood is healthy and green. You will know it when you see it. The inside of the stem, the pith, will be creamy white or pale green. For any diseased wood, it is good practice to clean the blades of your secateurs after each cut. A simple wipe with a cloth soaked in disinfectant or a weak bleach solution will prevent you from spreading the problem from one part of the plant to another. While you are cleaning and tidying, keep a sharp eye out for any lingering pests. Even in the cool air of November, some hardy creatures may still be clinging on. Aphids, for instance, can persist on the last few tender shoots. Aphids hiding under remaining leaves. Look closely at the leaf joints and the tips of the stems. You might spot the fine, delicate webbing of spider mites. Inspect now. It can save you trouble in spring. Those pests would multiply rapidly on fresh new growth. If you find a small infestation, the fix is often simple. A strong jet of water from a hose, a spray bottle mist, or wipe them off with your fingers. Physical removal is often perfectly adequate. It avoids chemical sprays and helps the wider garden ecosystem. For a bigger problem, consider an organic insecticidal soap spray. Always follow the label instructions. Spray on a calm, dry day. Also, assess fungal diseases on your roses. Look for black spot, dark marks on leaves. Look for orange pustules of rust. Look for the gray, dusty coating of powdery mildew. Remove fallen leaves from the ground. Pluck any remaining diseased leaves from the plant. Reducing spores around the rows is key to disease control. It breaks the infection cycle. This cleaning and checking is preventative medicine for your garden. A healthy plant is a resilient plant. Removing stress now lets the rows go into dormancy strong. It won't waste energy fighting pests or fungi. Resources can go to roots and woody canes. That builds strength to survive the cold and burst into new vigor when days lengthen. Now that the plant is clean, we can think about pruning. Gardener surveys rosebush, close-up of clean stems. But I must be very clear. The pruning we do in November is not the main hard prune of the year. That is a job best saved for late winter or early spring, just before the new growth begins in earnest. Pruning hard now would encourage the rows to produce soft, tender new shoots. These shoots would have no time to harden off before frost and would be blackened and killed. This wastes the plant's energy and can create entry points for dieback and disease. So, our November pruning is a light touch, a gentle trim with a specific purpose. We are aiming to reduce the overall size of the plant just enough to prevent wind damage. Long, whippy canes can rock back and forth in a gale, loosening roots. This wind rock creates air pockets around roots, exposing them to cold and frost. By shortening long stems, we make the plant compact and stable. Reduce the longest canes by about a third, or at most by half. Look for stems that are particularly tall or exposed. Remove branches that cross and rub against each other. Rubbing can wound bark and invite infection. Always use your sharp secateurs. For thicker stems, use loppers. Make each cut just above an outward-facing bud. Cut clean, sloped at a 45-degree angle away from the bud. This ensures rain runs off and doesn't collect on the cut or the bud. Think of it as a neat winter haircut, tidy and stable. This light trim protects the plant and makes it manageable for the months ahead. It prevents a tangled, windswept mess. For shrub roses, create a sturdy, open-centered framework. For floribundas, reduce height. For hybrid teas, reduce height. It takes very little time but pays huge dividends through the dormant season. In addition to light pruning, physically securing your roses can make a world of difference, especially for climbing varieties, rambling varieties, or for any shrub rose with particularly long arching canes. Even after shortening them, some stems may still be vulnerable. They can be whipped about by the wind, or weighed down by heavy, wet snow. The solution is simple: tie them in. By securing these canes to a support, you provide the stability they need. That stability helps them ride out winter storms without snapping or breaking. This is a crucial step in preserving the framework you've spent the season encouraging. For this job, you will need some soft garden twine, or flexible plant ties. Use a material that will not cut into the bark as stems flex and grow. Never use wire or thin plastic string. Old pairs of tights or strips of cloth work wonderfully. Loop the tie around the cane, then fix it securely to your support. Wall, fence, trellis, or a simple stake driven into the ground next to the plant. Don't tie it too tightly. Allow the cane a little room to move and thicken. The knot should be on the support side, not against the stem itself. For climbing roses, check all their existing ties. Replace any that have become too tight or have broken. Arrange the main canes as horizontally as you can. Tying stems horizontally encourages flowering shoots all along their length next year. If the canes grow straight up, you tend to get a flush of flowers only at the very top. Bending them down tricks the plant into breaking bud all along the stem. The result is a much more impressive, even display of blooms from top to bottom. This simple act of tying in imposes a little order on the plant for its own good. It prevents chaos and damage. You are working with the plant, guiding it and supporting it, ensuring the structure remains intact. A snapped cane is not just a loss of potential flowers next year. It is a wound the plant has to heal. By taking a few moments to secure these vulnerable stems now, you preserve the plant's energy and structure. You ensure it emerges from winter whole and ready to grow. Section 6. The third task, protecting the vulnerable base. With the top of the plant cleaned and tidied, our final task is to protect its most vital part, the root system and the graft union. The roots are the engine of the plant. They are more protected than the stems but still vulnerable to winter extremes. The biggest danger is the cycle of freezing and thawing. When the soil freezes, expands, and then thaws, it can heave the plant's roots and tear the fine root hairs that absorb water and nutrients. Protecting the soil from these temperature swings is paramount. The key to this protection is mulch. A good, thick layer of mulch acts like a duvet for the soil. It insulates the soil and prevents the damaging freeze-thaw cycle. It helps conserve moisture and, as it breaks down, enriches the soil with organic matter. There are many excellent materials you can use. Well-rotted garden compost is perfect. Well-rotted manure, bark chips, leaf mold, shredded straw. The important thing is a generous layer. Aim for at least 5 to 8 centimeters or 2 to 3 inches deep. Spread it evenly over the root area. The root area typically extends to the drip line, the circle under the outermost leaves. One very important rule: do not pile mulch against the main stems. Leave a small collar of a few centimeters clear around the base. Mulch packed against the woody stem can trap moisture, which encourages rot and invites pests and disease. In very cold regions, where the ground freezes hard, extra protection is wise. This is especially true for grafted roses like hybrid teas and floribundas. They have a vulnerable graft union, a knobble where the variety was joined to the rootstock. That union can be damaged by severe cold. To protect it, mound soil up and over the union, or mound compost up and over it, or mound mulch up and over it, creating a small hill to shield it from frost. Gently scrape that mound away in spring. Section 7. The importance of mulch and root insulation. Let's dwell a little more on mulching. It's a fundamental part of good garden practice, especially now. The insulating properties of a mulch layer are truly remarkable. It creates a buffer zone between soil and cold air. On a frosty night, the surface of the mulch may freeze, the soil beneath stays more constant and slightly warmer. This stability protects delicate roots from shock and freezing damage. It helps the plant remain dormant in a stable environment rather than endure temperature swings. This protection is even more critical for roses in containers. The soil in a pot is exposed to cold air from all sides, top-bottom around the perimeter. That means potted soil can freeze much faster and deeper than garden soil. For potted roses, insulation is often essential for survival. Move pots to a sheltered spot against the wall of the house under the eaves of a porch. The building's radiant heat keeps the worst of the frost at bay. For extra defense, wrap the pots themselves. Burlap or Hessian sacking is ideal. Breathable. Bubble wrap is also an excellent insulator. Wrap it around the pot and secure with string. Group several pots together. Pack straw scrunched up newspaper in the gaps to create a warm huddle. If you have an unheated garage shed, greenhouse, this makes a perfect winter home for small pots. They will be protected but still cold enough to stay dormant. Whether in the ground in pots, give them a deep watering before the first hard freeze. People often forget to water in autumn. Soil moisture is vital. A well-hydrated plant resists winter stress far better than a droughted one. Water in the plant's cells helps resist freezing damage. Once the ground is frozen solid, the plant can't take up more water, so water beforehand. A final vital act of care before dormancy. Section 8. Simple tips for extra winter resilience. Beyond our 3 main steps, there are a few other small things you can do to give your roses the best possible chance of thriving through winter. One is knowing when to stop. Specifically, when to stop feeding your roses. You should not be giving your roses any fertilizer from late summer onwards. The last feed should be in late July, early August. Feeding in autumn encourages the plant to produce new, sappy growth. This growth is weak, susceptible to frost damage, and drains the plant's energy reserves just when it needs to be storing them. Another lovely simple tip is to leave some of the rose hips on the plant. While we often deadhead our roses throughout the summer to encourage more flowers, allowing the last flush of blooms to mature into hips has several benefits. Firstly, they provide a wonderful splash of color. Oranges, reds, deep purples that can look truly spectacular on a frosty winter morning. Secondly, they are a valuable source of food for birds like blackbirds, thrushes during the lean months of the year. Leaving the hips is a small way of supporting the wildlife in your garden. If you live in an area that gets heavy snowfall, be prepared to offer a little help. A light dusting of snow is harmless. A heavy, wet fall can be a real problem. The weight can build up on the branches, causing them to bend or snap. If you see this, gently brush the snow off. Use a soft broom or your gloved hand. Never shake the plant vigorously. It can break frozen, brittle stems. A gentle lift from underneath the branches relieves the pressure. Finally, if you've had a bad problem with a fungal disease like black spot, consider a winter wash. It's a treatment often based on plant oils or sulfur, sprayed onto the dormant plant. It cleans remaining fungal spores from stems and bark crevices, giving a cleaner start in spring. Usually done in late autumn after the leaves have fallen. Not always necessary, but for badly afflicted plants it can be a very useful tool for disease control. Section 9. A final thought, patience and the promise of spring. And so, our work for the year is almost done. The roses have been cleaned, lightly pruned, tucked in under a warm blanket of mulch. We took these simple, proactive steps not to force nature, but to work alongside it and give our plants the best support as they enter rest. This November care is a quiet, satisfying ritual. An act of faith in the cycle of the seasons. The effort we put in now in the fading light of autumn will be rewarded tenfold in next summer's sunshine. It connects us to the enduring rhythm of the garden. Now, all that is left to do is be patient. Winter has its own stark beauty. The garden, even in dormancy, is still a place of wonder. Watch frost etch patterns on bare stems. Notice the low sun catching the bright red hips you left for the birds. The garden is not dead, it is merely sleeping. Beneath frozen soil, the roots are safe and holding the promise of life. This period of rest is essential, a time for the plant to gather strength, to build reserves for the explosion of growth to come. Your roses are prepared. They have what they need to weather the cold months ahead. Cleaning removed disease. Pruning protected them from wind. Mulch is insulating their precious roots. You have done your part. The rest is up to the plant and the slow, inexorable turning of the year. There is deep contentment in knowing you've done all you can, seeing the garden put to bed safe and sound. So take a little time this month to perform these simple tasks. Do it with care, a thoughtful hand, and calm purpose. The connection you feel with your plants is one of the great joys of gardening. As you finish, step back, look at your work, and feel a quiet hope. Because when spring arrives, your roses will be ready. They will stir strong and healthy, and thank you with a magnificent display of beautiful, fragrant blooms.